Conversations with the Watchers, a higher realm angels. After my grey world dream, and 5 years after receiving the Conversation with Self book from Source Self, I toiled with the indecision regarding the existence of angels, especially the identity of the Watchers. Since the only information I rely on is the one I access directly, I challenged the angelic realm to prove their existence. After all, if I could access Self, why not its creation? I received instead an automatic writing answer reminding me of what Self always told me, that I needed to earn the right to an answer, and that my entitled and arrogant attitude from which I launched the call had to change to one of reverence. Few days later, after the required inner adjustments, I received the answer to my call in the same form of telepathic communication I have with Self. To ensure I don't forget or embellish the answers, I hold the conversation in a written dialogue. My questions started from where my mind was after reading the Rosicrucian manuscript, thinking that I was communicating with Self. Question: egregores. If our intentions, thoughts, and emotions create these worlds, whose intentions, thoughts, and emotions are we the result of? Are we a thought form that reached independence of egregores, watchers, angels, eternal ones? If so, we impede upon their lives and evolution as much as my hazy world called at me to let me know they depend on me to evolve.
We were experimenting with thought forms as the means of creation in a non-material way. You will get there too. Your computer game association of humans being a virtual reality game of a more advanced race is very close to truth. I would say accurate, only that it differs in intent. We did not intend it as a game, but as a means of exploring creation at different levels. We created worlds with our thoughts, desires, and intentions. You are one such world. Your biblical metaphor of fallen angels and Nephilim is also quite accurate, but again, the intent was lost in translation. We were what you call a hive mind. We all contributed to this world. Amongst us, there were those with unclear intentions and more individualistic desires, so this world we co-created has the particularities of both intention forms, your positive and negative polarities. You were first an immaterial world, a thought form world. You became material the moment our brothers, no gender in our realm, intermingled with you. A wicked curiosity to experience what would feel like to interact with their creation. This is what your Bible describes as the descent from heavens of the fallen angels who came upon the human women and took them as their brides. Sex was the first gate between these two worlds. Because this world was not theirs exclusively, and because we didn't want to let it become such, a number of us had to agree to devolve like our brothers, to ensure that the balance is kept and enough humans touched with the breath of creative power, and be of a positive, kind orientation in line with our initial intent for creating you. We sacrificed our realm and did what our brothers have done. Some interacted with women through the gates of sexual intercourse, and most of us through spirit, non-physical intercourse. We have also intervened through guidance, dreams, and all non-material forms available. Through this interference, humans have acquired the powers of creating their own thought form worlds. The worlds created by humans, as you have seen, are grey, unclear, ill-formed, because you haven't reached the spiritual maturity to have the discipline of intention, thought, and emotion to create at will. They reflect your minds, chaotic. Some, as it happened in our case, emerged faster and developed their identity away from the hive. They grew aware of their individuality.
What is the purpose of individuality?
It takes an outsider to see the whole scene. When you are in the group, you don't see its whole. You live as the group lives, feel like the group feels. To get a higher degree of insight, you must be at the same time the group and the individual to discern its evolution. In the worlds created by humans, there are some awake or awakening who have seen what lacks to the group, to their world, clarity. Their awareness of you as their creator is not dissimilar to that of yours of us. You pray to us to make your life better, to help you achieve this or that. So do they. What you saw, or what you received was your first prayer as a creator from your creation. Now you know how it feels, how we feel. It's not pretty, and it doesn't feel good, does it? Seeing such an imperfect, hazy world, feeling their needs, their confusion.
If we are your egregores, and that world is my egregores, the thought form life world, as in the common understanding of this word, I can only infer that just as that world is imperfect because of my unclear thoughts, emotions, and intentions, so are we imperfect here because of yours.
Unfortunately, yes, but you were not meant to have self-awareness until we clarified our intent, until we perfected this creation. It was the wickedness of our brothers who interfered with our creation that gave humans our creative powers, but not our level of development. As once created that way, the created could only achieve our level through self-experience and self-sacrifice to atone for the sin of our brothers and prove their worth of higher realms. Their interference, in a way, gave humans life a bit too soon. You are our premature child, and your intensive pains are the result of this premature birth and the need to learn fast to catch up with your co-creative powers. Otherwise, you would have created monsters. You, humans, have already. But if it weren't for our intervention as the solution to this conundrum of your premature coming into being, creation would be now a scary place to be, because you carry and have transmitted the creative powers to all your creation. No matter how premature and ill-formed it is, it still has the same powers as we do to create. And you know what kind of creation comes forth from immature, unaware creators.
So if you have devolved to mingle with us to help keep the balance, does that mean that you cannot ascend back to your place until we do?
Yes.
That's why the push then?
Yes. We would like to say what you would like to hear, but the main reason is this. We want you to evolve and ascend and join us at some point. In the end, you are our creation. But we are also created, and we would like to experience our own life, which we put on hold, much as you put yours for your daughter. We would like, just like you, to resume it and continue evolving, create and experiment at higher levels. But until we get this creation to a safe threshold, we can't. I guess, as you would have to bring your daughter to the threshold of adulthood. Isn't it funny? You had all the metaphors you needed to depict the story of your world.
So who am I? Am I from here? Am I them, your egregore, or who?
You are us, a part of Source who created us, and yet you are also our egregore, as you call it.
So, the parallel lives I have seen are what? These worlds, and their worlds, and their worlds. To where? Infinity?
Yes, but we are working on quickening your process of evolution faster than it would have taken you the natural way. Exactly because we don't want this to continue like this, since it is in great part our fault. The sooner you, humans, reach your self-awareness and self-mastery, the sooner you create better worlds and change as much as you can the ones you've created unconsciously. Like us, you won't succeed in changing these worlds completely, but you could change a part of them. And that would be enough to counteract and help restore the balance.
If we have the power of creating worlds with our thoughts, emotions, intentions, and our creators are aware of it, I see that the faction who is negatively or individually oriented have found a way to create indirectly through us, by inspiring us the feelings and emotions that will cause us the strong intent that they want or need for the formation of that world. It is a matter of numbers. Given that they've lost their initial soul group cohesion, they need to amass the numbers to reach the creative powers of their brothers who refuse to join them to increase their creative force. Since they've devolved to interact with humans, they halved their creative powers with us without realizing, and now they need it back to move on. Since breaking the no-interference universal law by meddling with their creation, they have also lost their right to ascension, and could not return until they've helped right their wrong. Because this is a too long and painful process, or simply because it is not part of their plan, They are working tirelessly to create another megaverse which needs to be first formed, then populated. Through the emotions they inspire in us as the blueprint of their world, we create that world for them.